Oh, pardon me there, patrons. I was just shredding my balls off using some awesome arpeggio shapes that you're about to learn. Yes, indeed, loyal patrons, welcome back to another Patreon-only exclusive supplementary weekend Wankshop lesson. Here's your best buddy in all the world, Uncle Ben, and his best buddy, bubbly strawberry water. It's like drinking the ghost of a long-deceased berry. So as I told you in Weekend Wankshop 229, in this Patreon exclusive episode here for my loyal and most deserving and supportive patrons like you guys, in this super special, ultra cool bonus episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play those same cool string skipping extended arpeggio ideas that include the triad, plus the 9th and the 11th, through all 7 different kind of tonal centers in the key of Jesus. Now this might be a little bit theory heavy for some of you cats out there, but it's not that bad, trust me. In any key, there are 7 different diatonic chords that correspond to that major scale. In the key of G, the first chord you get is G major, second one's A minor, third one's B minor, fourth chord is C major, the 5 is D, the 6 is E, the 7 is the Slytherin of chords, F sharp diminished, and then you're back to the 1 chord of G. Now we can use that extended kind of modal arpeggio idea on all 7 of those. I'm going to show you the shapes that go with them here. And I'm going to put up tabs like charts for these on the Patreon too, so be sure to get those for a good visual aid as you go through these. So let's begin at the number 1 chord, the G major. Now if you've watched 229, you recognize the shape. It's exactly like what I used on that. I'm starting here on the 5th fret on the D string, my G note, using my 2nd finger. Next I'm going to play that 4th fret here on the G. Again, that's the 3 of the chord, the 3rd. That makes it sound so major. So here's my 1st finger on that 4th fret G string, 5th G, C11th. Then my little finger is going to play the 7. Oh, and the saints. And then after this on the high E string, play 3, 5, and 7. That's root, 9th, and 3rd. So over the 1, the G, this ends up spelling out 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And again, I like to do the hybrid picking stuff. Just tell me if the string changes, but take advantage of the fact that you have 3 notes and 3 notes to burn up and down those and get some more mileage than you would if you're just playing a regular, you know, G arpeggio or whatever. So that's the one that you would use over the 1 chord. If you're in the key of, you know, B, you'd use that on B. And so on. After this, we're going to move to the 2 chord in the key of G, which is A minor. And the arpeggio I would play over that is going to be like this. I'm going to start off here on the 7th fret D, that's my A note. I'm going to play the 5, 7, and 9 on the G, right on the dots. Again, that's root, minor, 3rd, 4th, 5th. You got the triad, plus some junk in the trunk right there. And then on the high E string here, we're going to play the 5th on the high E string, the 7th, and the 8th. I think that's root, 9, flat 3rd. Just like that. That first major shape and the 2nd minor shape are going to come up a few times throughout the course of this. So those are like really great ones to know. If it's a major chord, you can probably play that. If it's a minor chord, you can usually play that. So keep that in mind. Next we get to the 3 chord here, which is a B minor chord. Now here's the thing about this. The 3rd mode is the Phrygian mode, you know, and B Phrygian is kind of characterized by having that flattened 9th finger. You know, like I said in the original video about Lydian being unique because it has that raised 4. Phrygian is unique because it has this flattened 9th in there. Great for those Esteban sounds, you know. So considering all these arpeggios contain that 9th in them, this one's going to be a little bit different than the previous minor shape we talked about. It's going to contain a flat 9. Check this out. Start off on your 9th D string. On your G here, you're going to play 7, 9, and 11. So familiar turf. When you reach the high E string here, play 7, 8, and 10, okay? Again, this note, the C note, in relation to B, our root at this time. Sounds really, oh, it's a spicy meatball right there, right? It's because it's that flat 9 that the Phrygian has. That's why us, metal dudes like it so much. Those first 2 notes being half step apart just sounds evil and demonic. So whenever I play this arpeggio over B minor, it has a really aggressive sound in it because of that flat 9. So here's that shape once more. I find the tricky thing there is on the way up, your middle finger's on the 9th fret. On the way up here on the high E, it's on the 8th fret. So your middle finger is doing quite a lot of a workout right there. Next we get to the 4 chord, C major. This is associated with C Lydian. Lydian scale has a raised 4th in it, like I mentioned in the original 229 video. So when you play the arpeggio here on the 4 chord, just don't forget, it's not going to have a 4th right here. You can always recognize the 4th because it's right under the root on the next string, It's going to have a raised 4. So we're going to play 10 on the D, 9 on the G, 11, 12. I'm going to stop right there because of YouTube copyright stuff. And then on the high E string here, play 8, 10, 12, okay? If you really want to work the sound of a mode, use the half steps. That is where the flavor of any mode lies. It's all about where those half steps are going. Really love that sound. So yeah, on your 4 chord, do that raised 4th thing. Now here on the 5 chord, D major, it's going to feel just like the one we started with, only starting here at the 12th on the D string. So D12, G, 11, 12, 14, high E string, 10, 12, 14. What could you do with that? It's pretty cool. God bless hybrid picking. Next, the 6th chord of the key, E minor. This is gonna feel just like the A minor that we did on the 2 chord. So 14D, G string here, 12, 14, 16, high E string, 12, 14, 15. So that is the minor arpeggio that has worked for 2 of the 3 minor chords, That's the cool thing about these arpeggio shapes is more than likely they're gonna work, We had the 1 major shape that we've used twice now. We've had the 1 minor shape that we've used twice now. That 3 chord, the Phrygian, had that flat 9. 4 chord, the Lydian, had that raised 4. Otherwise, you're always safe to use those regular minor and major shapes. Pretty cool stuff. Now next we get to the 7, the F sharp diminished chord, right? And this is associated with the Locrian mode, which has all kinds of nasty stuff in it. It's got a flat 9, a flat 3, flat 5 in there, all kinds of juicy stuff. So this is gonna sound kind of odd. Check this out. Kind of odd. 16D, on the G string here play 14, 16, 17, okay? High E string 14, 15, 17. So it's kind of like you're gonna go from 1, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 4 finger-wise. Just like that. Again, it's kind of an odd sounding one. You could play over a diminished or half diminished chord to get some groovy sounds out of that. It's like everybody's always talking about how hard it is to work with that Locrian stuff and diminished chords. They just sound the way that they do. You know what I mean? They sound kind of tense and kind of nasty. But whenever you play something that agrees with them very heavily, like that, which again has the triad, plus some other goodies in there, it's kind of a recipe for success. And that is all 7 of them. G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished. Then you're back to good old G after that. Neat stuff. I really recommend taking those ideas through, all different keys. Just play them in as many different keys as you can. So you play them in F, G minor, and so on. Do them in the key of C. So you got your 1, C major, minor, 3 E minor, 4 F major, and so on. Just take them through all of your favorite keys and experiment around with those things, and don't hurt yourself. Thank you guys so much for being such gosh darn great patrons. You're so much better than I deserve. I can't believe how well the Patreon is going already. It's just been up for a couple months, and you guys are seriously helping me pay my bills, feed my dogs, all kinds of other good stuff. We're gonna be moving soon, so I've got like moving expenses and house expenses and stuff like that out the wazoo. So you guys are really helping me stay afloat in these trying times. So I'm gonna drink a ghostly berry water on you. Thanks a ton. Be sure to let me know if you guys like seeing these supplementary Patreon only videos popping up every now and then whenever I do a lick that has, just some more to say about it. Maybe some more information to glean and pass along to the next generation of players. Let me know in the comments below if you guys like what I'm doing here on the Patreon, and let me know what else you'd like to see. Well, anyway, it's time to go get caught up for Game of Thrones, so I'll be seeing you guys next week here on my channel. Thanks again for watching and supporting. Cheers, guys.